All right, so today we're going to show you this Jones & Shipman. This is a 2-axis surface grinder, a model 540E. The E stands for electronic. So people familiar with Jones & Shipman are familiar with some controls on the top deck and some controls over on the side. They've done it with a PLC mounted in the electrical cabinet over here, and you have a pretty user-friendly setup here once you get used to it. In my opinion, they're less complicated than the mechanical one that they did have. But anyway, right now, the way I have it, all I have to do is press the start button. I have a light on here telling me that I have got my table selected, and I got a light on here telling me I've got my cross feed selected. So they want you to use 2 fingers and hold them on there for a second, and that'll start it up. So your variable speed for your cross feed, you can slow it down with this potentiometer, and you have a dial, an outside calibrated dial that you can move around with this when you loosen that knob. So you could change the speed of this, or the stroke of it, whatever you want to call it. Table also, you could add, you could slow it down by pressing the minus button, or speed it up by pressing the plus. And the dogs are really easy to adjust. You just slide them. It's pretty neat if you've ever tried to fool around with one of these things while they're running. And of course you got your fine feed dial here. And this is a clamp if you want to clamp your cross slide if you're doing plunge grinding. And the dogs for the saddle are just as simple. They're exactly like these. They just slide back and forth. I think that's pretty cool. You've got a rapid power up and down. Stops it instantly. And you've got the digital readout for the cross feed and for the vertical. So I can also use these arrows on here to change the direction of the table. Let's see. How do you do that? There you go. So when I press that, I could do that for whatever reason. Then I can change the direction of the cross feed. And your down feed is here, the vertical feed. Again, you've got a calibrated dial, and when you push this knob in, you have a fine feed that you could read in here in the tenths. It takes 2 clicks on here to really move this thing a tenth. So this whole dial is calibrated from line to line, 1/10, but there's a couple of clicks in between each line, so it's pretty fine. And of course back here we have a Walker, OS Walker chuck controller with full on and also release, a residual, and your variable speed. And this is a Walker chuck, fine pole, fine division chuck with the lines running horizontally across it. It's a nice chuck. So overall, this is a nice machine. Cooling system, big thing goes with it. Everything drains back through this channel, down this pipe, and into this big collecting area here. Drops down onto a paper band filter, and then goes into a thing that you can pull out and clean. And your actual pump tank and all that stuff is down there on the very bottom. And the whole thing plugs into the machine with just a simple connector plug, like this. Don't have it hooked up. I don't have any coolant. You can have that coolant come on when you turn the button on down here, or you can flip it over to where it says automatic, and when you press your on and off, when you press your on switch here with your 2 fingers, the water will come on with it. Or you can turn the water on and off with the button for the coolant. So this has a variable speed spindle also, I forgot to mention. And over here you've got 2K, 3K, 4K. So it goes up to 4,000 RPMs from down as low as 1,000 in 4 increments, 1,000, 2,000, 3, and 4. That's why it takes a second when it has to start up. And then you got your spindle, and you got your coolant, and you've got something else there. I don't know what that is. Well, the whole thing can be stopped, has to be stopped with that button. And then when you want to start it again, you press that. And that's it. That's the Jones & Shipman 540E, a really nice, well-built machine from England. Thank you very much.